Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. Thank you so much for making our channel one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube in the world of politics and current affairs, personal finance, stimulus news and unemployment benefits. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my introductory video on our YouTube channel. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream and I want to help you live your American dream. But first, we need to be able to get through this, essentially this manufactured crisis. This crisis could have been resolved a long time ago if the two sides had come together. But, this is where we stand right now. Now, after the president's tweet this morning, the Republicans are under pressure and the Democrats are now calling for more action. And I'm going to give you some new reporting, and I call this the beginning of the stimulus end game. I'm going to give you some important comments from key officials, including the Federal Reserve Chairman, including some key Republicans, and then you can decide what's going on. And, I want my viewers and subscribers to have the right information so they can come to the right decision themselves. So here's what's going on right now. This was reported by Politico yesterday that, and I quote, this is from Politico, that the president barely cares about the policy people close to him say. The president just wants a deal. Now, the president, essentially just wants a deal. And if the Democrats want, what they can do is they can make the case that there are policies that the president can be comfortable with as long as the president gets a deal. This was reported by Politico yesterday. Well, a lot can change in 24 hours. And you saw the president's tweet this morning. I did cover it in great detail on my channel so far today. So here's what's going on. The president is now open to a $1.5 trillion proposal. And this was something that was actually mentioned by the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows. He said that that was not a showstopper at this point. So the way things stand right now, and these are words from Senator John Thune, who's from South Dakota. He's the GOP whip. So he's an important figure in all of this. He said this to the Washington Post, Erica Werner. He said, I know kind of what the threshold is for what we can get Republican votes for in the Senate. And I think if the number gets too high, anything that got passed in the Senate will be passed mostly with Democrat votes and a handful of Republicans. So it's going to have to stay in a sort of a realistic range if we want to maximize, in other words, optimize the number of Republican senators that vote. He said a realistic range is somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 trillion, despite resistance to that number. And one White House official did indeed point out that there are a number of GOP senators who are willing to go north of $1 trillion, and there are a number of GOP senators who are willing to go south of $1 trillion. Now, keep in mind that the president has essentially said, hey, go high in the number. So I wouldn't be surprised if essentially a lot of senators who are opposed, a lot of GOP senators who are opposed to more stimulus maybe come around, because now there is mounting public pressure. And Thune also said that $500 billion in state and local aid, which was proposed in the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal, he said that was a non-starter for Senate Republicans. So you can see that there is some resistance to this, but the wheels are in motion. And I think a lot of information is going to come out. But this is the initial reaction. You have to understand this is the initial reaction from key members of the Republican Party. Now, there is one important thing that I think hasn't really been covered in other channels that I do want to cover on our channel. The Sunshine State of Florida, which has 29 electoral votes. Remember, it's 270 electoral votes to win the presidency, to win the White House. So Florida is a very, very important state. In fact, it's so important that the president relocated to Florida from New York. So the president's home state right now is Florida. This state has 29 electoral votes. And Florida said in the past 24 hours, we cannot afford President Trump's jobless aid anymore. Yep, Florida has actually stopped the $300 lost wages assistance program to boost unemployment benefits to out-of-work individuals in the state of Florida because the state is too poor to continue qualifying for the federal boost. Florida's bare bones unemployment benefit system has been under a lot of pressure lately, and Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida, who is a key ally of President Trump, is eliminating the $300 a week lost wages assistance program because the state pays its unemployed workers too little to meet the matching requirement. So just think about that for a second. The state of Florida cannot pay its workers a $300 boost because the state is too poor to pay the $100 minimum that needs to be paid in order to qualify for the lost wages assistance program. Every day that I function as a citizen reporter on this channel, I get news that, that even makes me scratch my own head. And so a lot of Republicans and Democrats were actually surprised by DeSantis' decision. And this was revealed Monday night in the state of Florida. So if you're in the state of Florida and if you don't know this yet, well, I'm sorry to tell you that Governor DeSantis has said that the Lost Wages Assistance Program has been scrapped in the Sunshine State. And in other news, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has declined to comment on the president's tweet from this morning. And I did cover in another video House Speaker Pelosi's and Chuck Schumer's joint statement inviting the White House lead negotiators back to the table. And they said, I quote, "We look forward to hearing from the president's negotiators that they will finally meet us halfway." Meanwhile, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell did weigh in, and he told reporters that, the economy was recovering quickly, which is extremely encouraging. But he said, there's certainly a risk that as the months pass without additional funding and if the unemployed don't get jobs, that will start to show up in economic activity, I quote. And he said, and I quote him, "My sense is that more fiscal support is likely to be needed." He is right. And he said that about 11 million individuals are still out of work amidst the pandemic. Small businesses are struggling and state and local governments have seen drops in revenue. Now, Mark Meadows has said that $500 billion in state and local aid is more than what the White House estimates. And he added that the administration would accept a number right in the $250 to $300 billion range. So keep in mind the election is just a few weeks away. And at this point in time, according to several national polls across different stations, President Trump is trailing Vice President Joe Biden in the polls. And so the president, has been riding on the platform of economic recovery. And so this really is a critical moment for our country as we head into the heat of the November election. The Problem Solvers Caucus, just so that you know, proposed $450 a week in unemployment benefits extension for 8 weeks, and then a transition to 100% of a worker's wage or $600 booster per week on top of state unemployment benefits, whichever is lower. And that is a compromise because the Democrats wanted $600 a week all the way through next year. And President Trump had proposed President Trump actually implemented $300 a week through the Lost Wages Assistance Program. So with the Problem Solver Caucus's proposal, total spending would have increased to about $2 trillion if the pandemic continues, or it would shrink to $1.3 trillion if the pandemic, sort of went away sooner. And the White House had previously been willing to go up to $1.3 trillion. So we do seem to be getting close to an acceptable range, but I do think that my gut instinct tells me that the Democrats will try and pull the White House even higher, and then the Republicans will be under pressure to get their GOP senators on board, and President Trump will now start to pressure Republican senators who are opposing further stimulus. This is the writing on the wall as I understand it, because executive orders, and I've mentioned this before, the GOP skinny bill didn't go anywhere. Executive orders have a limited impact. So if you're listening to anyone who's trying to get your hopes up saying that, executive orders will happen and the president will magically send out stimulus checks, those things are much, much harder to implement, because on the Ignition Time channel, I give my viewers real news, honest news, and I'm not going to give you false hope and just lead you to believe something that sounds good. I'm going to give you real news, and I'll never give you false hope because I know you can handle it. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. So I'm not going to take sides. And by the way, I'll point out mistakes from both sides if both sides make mistakes. And you can see that in the comments on all our videos. So House Speaker Pelosi did say we did come down, and she said, I quote, "We can only go so far." And the president's new push for a stimulus bill highlights all the continuing divisions amongst Republicans, some of whom are reluctant to spend more money on stimulus. I did do another video where I talked about Republican senators who opposed further stimulus. Now, keep in mind the Democrats do want a much higher stimulus bill, and now they're starting to argue that, hey, our position, us sort of standing firm, has led the administration closer to where we want to be. So that is where things stand right now. And Missouri Republican Senator Roy Blunt said a number higher than $1 trillion can indeed be the basis for an agreement if it can be done quickly. That's really interesting. He said, I think there is a deal to be had here. My concern is that the window probably closes around the end of the month, and we need to get busy finding out what we can all agree on. So I can tell you this, things are going to happen very quickly in the next few days. And I don't like to get anybody's hopes up, but things are looking rather interesting and rather optimistic based on the signs I'm seeing. But I do think, what I think our community can do, the Republican senators who oppose stimulus, our community can actually send a letter to them. I have done a video, like I said, on Republican senators who oppose stimulus. I've done another video providing our community with a letter that you can then send to senators and how to get in touch with senators. That is a role you can play. You have a role to play. You're not an innocent bystander here. You can take charge of your own future, and you can essentially, you know what you can do? You can comment below. You can share this video with friends and family, and you can send that letter to senators and ask 4 or 5 family members to send that letter. Guys, let's step up and make our voices heard. That is the thing to do. The thing to do is not to believe in false hope and believe that things that are not likely to happen will happen. As human beings, we want to believe something, but the truth is sometimes we need to take the initiative. And I want my users. I will always teach you how to fish on this channel, and that's what this is all about. And finally, Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson said the Senate GOP bill, I'm talking about the skinny bill, which was about $300 billion, he said is the right amount. And he said the president has his opinion, we have ours. So Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson essentially is opposing the president, and that is what he said. And he said, and this is what John Kennedy, a Louisiana Republican, said: I need to see what it would be for and how it would be spent. And if a bill is chock full of spending porn, as Senator Pelosi's bill is, I'm not going to vote for it. I read that out, and you saw the look of shock on my face with a United States senator using the phrase spending porn. So there you have it, everybody. That's the update. And this is the start of the stimulus endgame. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. Please share this video with friends and family members so we can help spread the word. And please comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks everybody for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chora. If you don't know anything about me, check out my introductory video. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. I'm a symbol of American exceptionalism. I am a beneficiary of the generosity of America. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So make sure you click like. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you enable notifications so you get instant updates from us going forward. If you want to get notifications from us, get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get on our SMS list, and you can opt out at any time. You can also get on our email list. Go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts. So you can get on our email list. You can opt out of our email list or our SMS list at any point in time that you want. Follow us on Instagram for exclusive content. On Instagram, our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. And if you want to get breaking news and alerts from us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. Also at the same handle, ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications, so you may want to bookmark youtube.com/ignition_time. That's youtube.com/ignition_time, so that you can visit our homepage and get updates right away. These are important updates that I want our fellow Americans, that I want my viewers and subscribers to be aware of, because, the mainstream media doesn't really report the news as it should be reported. Sometimes, there's some outlets are too conservative, some are too liberal. And my goal is to bring you honest news, bring you breaking news as it happens, and to help you stay calm through this crisis. That's very important for me, to be able to help our community, because I do want to help our community. And I think you can see the sincerity in my voice, in the quality of our videos, and in our body of work, which is quite significant. Once again, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please make sure you click like. Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you enable notifications. Also, please comment and let us know your thoughts on this video. Let us know what you think about the current state of affairs. And finally, please share this video with friends and family members, because we would like to be able to grow our community and get the word out and help everybody understand what's going on in a fair and balanced way. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.